this morning, and we're feeling right. Okay. So I'll start off with you. How amazing that you've kind of had this past life in campaigns. And why don't we kind of start off in the beginning and how you made your way into campaigns, and was that something you always wanted to do, and how did that transition into where you are now at Gersh?
I grew up thinking that I was going to work in politics for the rest of my life. I'm from the Philippines. My family in the Philippines is involved in politics. So I just, I thought that, that was my destiny, so to speak. But in actually working on the 2008 presidential, my department took care of the senators, the members of Congress, and the actors and writers and directors that were for Hillary. This was the primary, so it was like Hillary versus Obama, and it was Ron Howard and America Ferrera, staunch supporters of Hillary's, and getting introduced to their teams, their agents and managers and publicists. That seed was sort of planted in my mind, oh, these teams actually sort of do for this actor, this writer director, what we are doing on the campaign trail, right? We're getting votes to get them jobs, and so that seed was planted for a while. I stayed in DC after she lost, which obviously, to me wasn't bad because we had President Obama out of it. But after a while, in thinking about my life, do I want to keep campaigning, or can I change the world in some other ways? And I've always loved stories and their power to sort of change the world in their own way. Laws are very important, but people in Saudi Arabia are watching our stuff illegally, right? We have the greatest cultural exports, I think, maybe next to the Brits, controversial opinion, in the world. So I made the switch. I talked to my friends in DC who actually moved from entertainment into politics and had them get me interviews in the mailrooms. I think I only interviewed at WME and UTA, frankly, and I loved the ethos of UTA at the time, and so I got that job, worked there for 6 months, and then this brilliant lady, Evelyn O'Neill, who Mary is also familiar with, she started Management 360 with 5 other people, and she represents Julianne Moore and Salma Hayek and Greta Gerwig, very brilliant and obviously talented ladies. So when that desk opened up, I sort of had the chance to learn from this genius, and so I did. I worked for her for a long time. I got promoted there, but there was always a part of me that was I think agenting is actually kind of better for who I am and my skill set.
And what do you mean by that?
Management and agenting. So it's two sides of the same coin, right? In your career, in success, you will probably need both. Mary, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that as well. But I think at the start, you kind of just choose one, and you choose the person that is your biggest advocate, your biggest fan, understands what you want and need out of a career, your strengths and weaknesses. And at the start, that is usually a young person that has seen your work and loves it and gets it and will just kill for you, will make the calls that you need made so that you have a shot at a role, and knows you and your skills so well that they can pitch you for things that you might not even be right for, but just get you in the room so that maybe you don't get this role for a Carbon Cube movie, but you get the next one because you did such a good job that they think of you for the rest, and that could honestly be a manager or an agent. I think bigger picture stuff, agents are usually specific, and we think of you as a feature talent person, or as a TV talent person, or if you're a multi-hyphenate, you will get a writing agent in TV and in movies as well. Managers do everything. They do all of that, and they read for you more specifically, whereas your agents are getting you the appointments, right? And it's a team sport, but the manager's job is to master your business calendar, and also, they're not just dealing with your features and TV stuff. In success, they're doing your endorsement deals with your specific endorsement agents. Is that?
Yeah.
Did you guys get that? Is that yeah? So I know that was a lot, but I hope that was specific enough. But yeah, it's a team sport. If a manager goes up to you after a performance or sees something that you're in, and versus like an agent, I would go with either one, frankly, at the start of your career. It's who's your biggest advocate. That's the biggest question.
Yeah.
That's great.
What else you got?
I guess we'll pan it over to you. You know, I mean, you spent some time with dance, you know, being a wedding planner, wedding coordinator, doing some direct marketing, and eventually making it over to Rebel Entertainment as an agent.
I was actually an assistant. Actually, I started as a receptionist.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have like I'll tell you the whole.
Yes.
I'll just
Break it down.
So I was a dancer my entire life. I danced since I was 3. My mom owned a dance studio in DC, so instead of going to babysitting, I went to dance class. And over the summer, I would go to summer intensive. So they would ship me off the entire summer, and I would be dancing. So I was like going to college, and instead of taking like math and all those generals, I was in dance class. And then when I went to school, I got a scholarship in dance, and my senior year, I got an agent, and it was a dance agent, but he also wanted me to do like acting as well. So after I graduated, I moved to LA because I was like, why not go big or go home? I'm going to pursue my life in dance. Started auditioning out here, realized that I didn't want to do it. This is not something that I wanted to do.
How did you realize that? Like, what was that life change like from like your vision of this is what I want to do to, you know, having that completely altered?
Yeah, when I started auditioning, the dance world is even smaller than the acting world. So every choreographer already knows what dancers they want to bring, what person they want to put on like Taylor Swift's tour. Like I auditioned for Taylor Swift's tour. I was like, I'm not going to be in her tour. Like they want blonde hair, big boobs. Like that's not me. Like I'm never going to get that. And I went to this thing called Carnival, and like Millennium, it's a dance studio out here. They put it on, I think, every year. And like J-Lo's dancers go, Justin Timberlake's choreographers, Justin Bieber's, like all these people. And everyone came to the middle of the dance floor and just started freestyling. And I hate that. I was like, I'm not the type of person that's going to go out and be like, yeah, watch me do this.
Maybe we'll send this into them and say, hey.
Yeah. I was like, what? Like, I'm
You're
just here to
missing out.
like look and see the dancers, and everyone kind of like knew each other, and it was just very competitive, but like not in a good, healthy way.
Yeah.
And like dance is just physically and mentally exhausting, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. You don't really make that much money. Your career's over by the time you're 30 if you're lucky, and if you want to choreograph, great, but if not, then you're kind of toast. And I was like, I want to go make people's, you know, dreams. I want to deal with artists in some capacity. I just don't know what it is. So
How did that then translate into, you know, wedding coordinating?
yeah, so I moved out here with my best friend. I had no job, no place to live. I literally just got in the car and drove cross country. And I surfed on a couch for 3 months. And I kind of like enjoyed LA for the first month. And I was like, I need a job. I saved up 10 grand. And then I was like, okay, great. I have $2 grand left. I need to get a job. So I got like the first job that I could get, and it was this woman. Her name was I'm just gonna say Lauren. I don't want to say her last name, but she was starting a PR company, but she was doing special events before that. So she was doing a wedding, and she was like, please, you know, will you work for me? I was like, sure. The wedding was in Chicago. And I was like, I never want to do this again. Like, I don't like planning. I don't want to change a vendor every 5 seconds. It's not my cup of tea. Like, I will do this one wedding, and then I'm going to go venture off and do something else. And then I started working for a marketing company called Vantage. And they, like, it was a multi-level marketing scheme, like, to a T. But I was like, screw it. I need money. And they're like, yeah, like, all you have to do is, like, get, you know, 60 leads in a month, and then you get promoted, and then you become an account leader, and then from there you get your own office, and you're making like $80,000 to $100,000 a month, and I'm like, a year. I was like, okay, like I could do that. So I start going, and I'm doing really well, and they're like, oh, we want you to move to Arizona. Like our market's too saturated in LA, because I was driving all the way to Corona. I was going to Riverside. I was going to Santa Ana to basically reface kitchens at Home Depot. I was generating leads for their refacing kitchen campaign. So I was going into Home Depot. I was talking to 500 to 250 people a day and convincing them to reface their kitchens. So imagine getting rejected to your face 495 times a day. And I was like, all right. Like,
Wow.
and all they kept saying, like, it definitely helped develop a thick skin where you don't really care about the no, you're just looking for the next yes. So that really helped me becoming an agent, because all you hear all day is no, 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 no. And I'm like, great.
You're like, you're one person. We're good. On to the next.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people are, scared to get on the phone and cold call, and I have no problem with that because I got rejected multiple times face to face. So from there, I was like, I got to get out of this. I'm going to, my sister's an actress actually, so she was having a difficult time getting a manager and an agent. So I was like, look, I'll help you out, but I'm going to do this right. I'm going to start from the bottom, I'm going to work my way up. So I got the job at Rebel Entertainment Partners, and I was a receptionist. I was like, I have no idea what the hell a production company is or a network. I don't really understand what the hell I'm doing. So the first 2 weeks, the senior vice president's assistant quit. So they put me on his desk. And I was like, what the hell am I doing? He's like, you need to track all this money. You need to set up these meetings. You need to deal with my clients. I was like, I don't know what that means. Can you
explain it?
He couldn't. He's a senior vice president. He's like, I need to go, 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 go. So I went into his office and I was like, look, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want to ruin your business, because it's important to track money. You need to know if your clients are getting paid, because if they don't, if you miss 1 week, then you're toast. Then their checks get all discombobulated and it's a bad thing. So I was like, put me back at reception and let me learn what it is this job entails, because I just don't understand. So I jumped from desk to desk to desk. Obviously, I finally understood what it was. I understood what a production company was and what a network was and what pitching was. And I really liked talent. I fell on this guy's desk. His name was Matt Jackson, and he worked with actors. And I was like, I really like this. I really understand how to talk to an actor, because I was a dancer. I get the artistic mind behind it, and I understand how to talk to them. You can't just be like, you have to be delicate, which I understand. As dancers, not really. They're like, no, you're wrong. But with actors, it's like, okay, you have to be sensitive. It's like a art on how to talk to actors. And I got that, and it came naturally. So I knew that they weren't going to promote, so I jumped to Paradigm, and I was like, this is the place that I want to be at. They are at such a bigger level where they're talking to studios every day, and they're talking about making features, and they're talking about television, and they have grids. I was like, I don't even know what a grid is, but it's all this abundant source of information. And I was like, I really want to do this. I want to change someone's lives and make their dreams come true. And I've been lucky enough to do that with a couple people, and it's the best feeling ever. This is why I do it, because I get to change people's lives in a positive way, and that's kind of why I do it, and that's makes me happy.
You guys both have some pretty stellar talent. I mean, you have Ever Carradine on Marvel's Runaways, Louis Tan, Woo Assassins, to name a few of yours. I mean, two of the kids on This Is Us, Lonnie Chavis and Lyric Ross, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yep.
I mean, Harry Shum Jr., Shadowhunters. I mean,
Crazy Rich Asians.
Right?
Yeah.
Which also Ever is in, so they're working together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Amazing. See,
I love it.
and you guys knew each other even before you came here.
Yeah.
So how have you guys met, and how,
I think so much of what people don't talk about in the industry is how we all come from the same pool, basically, right?
Yeah.
And the ones that rise are cut from the same cloth, and we very much like to help each other out.
Yeah.
Even if we're at different companies. And no, we're not breaking confidentiality or anything. It's about supporting each other, especially as women in the business.
Yeah.
We have a lot of mutual friends, so we see each other at events.
Yeah.
So it's really natural for us to
Run into each other and be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. What's Harry doing? What can I put my clients in?
Yeah.
What, and vice versa, by the way.
Yeah.
And what have you read lately? What have you watched lately? We were talking about that as we were waiting to start this event. Her success also feeds my success and vice versa. And I think a lot of people don't
Realize
talk about
that. No.
Yeah. It's not always a competition.
No. Definitely working together.
Yeah.
Well, so talk about that. So it's definitely not a competition. What are the struggles as, a female agent, whether it's, with other female agents or, in a male, dominated, sometimes massive company that can be, not as diverse as you would like it to be. Have you both encountered some of that, or how do you face that, and how do you, continue to change that?
I feel like I don't have that issue as much
That's
because I
amazing.
have a very strong personality and I don't
Yeah.
hold back. So if there's an issue, I go straight into my boss's office and I'm like, yo, you need to pay attention to this because it's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, okay. And I have a female boss as well, where she understands, you know, there are like important things that need to be addressed where most men are be like, yeah, no, I don't think we, and she'll say, no, we need to address this. This needs to be taken care of. So I don't really feel.
That's amazing.
I try to make it not that too. I don't. Yes, you need to support women and stuff like that, but I don't like when certain people be like, oh, well, I only deserve this because I'm a woman.
Right.
I don't
pull the
really.
card.
Yeah, they pull a card, and I'm like, I'm not like that. I worked super hard. I had no idea about this business, and look at where I'm at today. Like, I literally worked for my way up, and it's all about just how hard you work. It doesn't necessarily matter what you look like, and it's same with like actors. It's like, it doesn't matter what you look like. You just have to be able to do your craft well.
Yeah.
You just keep working at it. It's not something that you just turn on. Like, you have to continuously keep doing and working day to day and grinding.
Yeah.
This isn't.
I think it's actually like the best time to be, you know, a woman right now, or to be a person of color right now, especially also as an actor, right? Because and there is this myth that like there aren't enough roles for like straight white men anymore, whatever. No, they still exist, right? But there's now more creators and more room for roles. Like, look at Lena Waithe and Malia Mitsukas releasing Queen and Slim for Universal, right? Like, there now are like that's being made. After the release of Crazy Rich Asians, like there are so many more Asian scripts that are now out there on the marketplace, but that does not take away from, you know, everything else that's already been there. And I think, you know, in the workplace, I also am a very opinionated and strong woman. So I never, I never let the sort of structure or the power dynamics of, you know, what any of my workplaces have been, or the lack of diversity in any of these situations affect how I do things. Because at the end of the day, you have to just kind of go with your gut and know what's right.
Yeah.
And that goes with also, you know, clients that we take on. I think we just we gravitate to who we gravitate towards. And I think, I mean, I'll speak for myself, but I think Mary will agree, like, we usually get supported by our peers and our bosses anyway. So they trust our eyes and they support us. Yeah. It's kind of a great place to be. And I'll just speak for myself and my company. Like, Gersh is a place that represents artists, right? It's not, they're not looking to sell the place. It's a family-owned business. They care more about what is best for their clients' careers than, you know, than
the bigger
what's
machine.
and what's profitable
amazing.
versus, you know, someone wanting to do theater after being hot off like an Oscar tour.
Yeah.
You know, so Oscar campaign, I should say. So it works for me and what I care about and what I want to do. And frankly, some of my mentors are like older straight white men. You know, like, it's not. There's no issue, at least to me.
Yeah,
That's great.
Same.
It's not like that everywhere, but at least we're lucky, I think.
Yes.
I mean, and you both have some pretty nice, you know, people on your roster. Are you still developing talent? Are you really at a level where you're kind of taking a little bit more experienced actors, or what is your interest in, and, you know, what do you love doing? Who do you like working with, you know?
I feel like my list is pretty eclectic. Like, as a young agent, our jobs are to cover. So our job is to cover the entire list. At Paradigm, they didn't necessarily want us signing immediately right outside of the gate. Like, they want us to service the list so you really understand how to pitch every single client that we represent at your specific territory. So, like, we go by studios on the feature side and networks on the television side. So my job on the studio side is for Universal and Netflix. I need to know everything that is going on at Universal and everything that falls under Universal and Netflix so that I can pitch all of the clients. Now, for developmental actors, like, yes, we do a lot of development, sort of. It kind of like depends. We go to a lot of showcases such as Juilliard, Yale, and we pick usually about one or two people from those showcases that we can really like develop and take the time to show them how to go to classes and to what a self-tape is and getting them into rooms and things like that, where we also have clients that, you know, are a little bit more established, like Harry Shum, who's been doing this for a while, but there's a certain level that we're getting him to next, where you probably know him from Glee and from Shadowhunters, but now we're taking him to the next level because he was in Crazy Rich Asians, and they're actually going to be doing the second movie in the summer, and he's actually the lead of a Universal film that he's shooting right now. So we're taking him basically to the next level, which is what he deserves.
Amen. Absolutely.
So we kind of like vary from places. And then you've got our Antonio Banderas, who's on his hopefully Oscar campaign this year for Pain and Glory. You guys should go see it if you can. It's terrific. I saw it last night. But like we have a range of people that we work with, and I don't know, I think that's what's kind of fun about the business. You're not just dealing with a developmental actor or a star. You're getting to do like the whole range, and so you basically can take someone from nothing and get them to stardom.
Yeah.
Or take someone
certain
who,
companies do different things too, or specialize in, but it's great that you at least have the ability to kind of get to do all of it.
Yeah, it's great.
Take people from the next level of their career.
Yeah,
and
even
everything else.
resurface a career where someone that, you know, was probably hot in the 90s or...
What does that look like, resurfacing someone's...
Justin Bateman.
Oh!
Well,
sure.
it's like a... let me think of an example. It's someone who... I'm trying to think of who we have that we've done that with. Someone who, you know, was a huge star in that. Now they kind of like their career went a little soft, but then you put them on an amazing, like Succession, Brian Cox.
Oh.
Like he's a terrific actor, right?
Really?
But now he's on Succession, one of the #1 television series on HBO. And it's like,
It'll win.
he's...
It'll win all the awards next year.
Yeah, it's amazing. And he's back on top. Like people were like, want him in everything. And it's like, well, he's not really available. But it's a good thing to have. So like kind of like that.
Yeah.
Where they've had a good career and then they kind of, you know, had a
Yeah.
slower moment and now they're back
Reset
with
and
one.
reinvent
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
everything like that.
Definitely.
What about for you? Do you like you developing? Are you trying to?
We have similar jobs, right? Because we're both covering agents. So
Yeah.
yes, while you know we're for me specifically.
What does covering agent mean?
It means you are assigned territories such as studios and networks,
Okay.
and it is your job to know exactly what parts are open at any given time, and also what now we're going into packaging and stuff, but like
Yeah.
what scripts Universal has that they are trying to attach an A-level name to with huge foreign value that they need like a Sam Rockwell or an Adam Driver in order to be greenlit. So it's knowing that level of casting, but just really packaging, but also like here's a 20-scene supporting part in a movie that Harry Shum Jr. is the lead of, playing the older cousin to the female Jessica Roth ever carried. It's that as well. So we have the pleasure and the honor of servicing our higher level clients in that sense, but also like my personal list, and you're not gonna like this, is mostly Brits coming out of acting schools, drama schools I should say. And I think for one reason or another, I really vibe with the UK agents. They're much more laid back. They're very managerial. It's a smaller market, and usually their clients are out of drama schools, so they're very well trained. They are also very humble and grateful. So everybody on sets loves them, and specifically my list they are usually. For some reason, they have a sense of the other. Like this girl, Susan Wakoma, she's a Nigerian Brit, and she was sister to Michaela Cole in Chewing Gum. She worked with Phoebe Waller-Bridge on her Crashing, and now she is developing her feature directorial debut with BBC Films, which was a bidding war about her abortion. I like multi-hyphenates, but I also like ladies that just have a sense of the other for some reason, and that's like mostly what I gravitate to. And
What do you mean by
gravitate
the
to.
other?
It could literally, I mean, it's a sense of like, I think it's because I'm an immigrant and like I identify with foreign folks anyway, but like, being a Nigerian Brit is a tough experience, right? Like it is not, someone from, like Brits are like obsessed with class and stuff. And that's an outsider. Maybe that's what I mean. Like someone that feels like an outsider or can embody that in a way. So yeah, I don't know why, but that's what I've got. Or like Asian leading men, like Louis Tang, who's the lead of Mortal Kombat, I would kill to have a Harry Shum Jr.
So how do people get a hold of you and get a meeting with you? I'm assuming, like, how many of you are actors? How many of you are writers? How many of you are directors, producers, looking to be an agent? Awesome.
Interesting.
Amazing. In representation, other than that? Nice. Great. So how does someone get a hold of you? Like,
it's tough.
As a artist or as a talent, we usually go through, I don't know if it's the same with you, it probably is, but we do a lot of referrals.
Yes.
So it's a lot of managers reaching out to us saying, hey, I've built this person, can you take a look at their stuff? Or even, studio heads, like this happened to me the other day. The head of production at Focus called me and was like, hey, we're working with this actor, your name came up, will you meet with her? And I was like, sure, of course. You're the head of Focus Features. Yes, I will meet with whoever you want me to. So it's a lot of referrals, but then it's also just watching and reading everything that's in the trades, or watching what's on television, and just there are certain things like British shows that you're not seeing over here as much, that you kind of have to dig to find. You're like, whoa, who is that person? They're so interesting. Or this writing is terrific. Is this person represented? Or seeing a director be, this film is awesome. Is this person represented? I want to go after it. Maybe even going to festivals like Toronto, or even smaller ones like LA Film Festival. I know a lot of lit colleagues, they go to the Scare Fest and things like that, because we have a big genre business specifically at Paradigm, because we rep James Wan and he does the whole monster universe for Warner. So it's really just paying attention and reading and watching and going to plays and kind of doing your own research.
There are ways, right, where you guys submit yourselves for things, and Simu Liu was an extra on Pacific Rim after being fired from his accounting firm, and that's when he got the bug, and he again an extra, but hustled his way into getting Kim's Convenience, which then launched his career. It's concentrating on getting the parts you can get for a bigger thing, as more so than trying to get an agent right away.
Yeah,
because the work will come.
Yeah.
And then we'll come calling you, because we're doing our research on our end.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, questions in the audience? Yes.
My question for you, you were talking about people representing in the UK. So does it happen to have, can you have an agent by territory? So for example, you have an agent in the UK and you guys represent only for the US? Because I know it's in the US. So I wanted to get more information about that.
Well, traditionally, there are European agents, there are French agents, obviously. Com Agent being one of my favorite shows of all time. It's on Netflix.
So good.
So good.
It's so funny.
So
Call
good.
My Agent.
It's in French. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to read subtitles.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And there are Italian agents and there are UK agents. Traditionally, because Hollywood is the bigger industry, what ends up happening is when someone's at a point in their career where they get Hollywood representation, they sort of course it's a team sport, and oftentimes you defer to that home agent, but Hollywood being the bigger market, we sort of start representing them in the rest of the world. Yeah. Same for Canada as well, which is where you're from, right? It's an add-on, but it's a team sport, right?
So can it be a deal breaker if somebody already has an agent from Canada, for example?
No, it's
Sounds
actually
helpful.
it's additive, because
Yeah.
you want a good agent back home to be pitching you for your work back home and getting your career to a point where they can then call us and say, hey, I have this great dude, will you look at his stuff?
Yeah.
So even if you guys don't know each other, so it's all right if they call you.
Yeah, we always want to get to know other agents.
I mean, because
Yeah.
that's part of referrals, and
Yeah.
Exactly. It's again the referral-based system that Mary spoke to.
Yeah.
It's you. Even if I don't know you, if your client's great, I'm gonna want to get to know you.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Anyone else? Question? Yeah.
What are your thoughts also about, for an actor having representation, and also who is a producer interested in utilizing the client pool of that agency for SAG feature projects, stories, just kind of helping to support the other actors within the agency, bringing extra work, commission? Is that something unheard of, uncommon, would you say, depending on the scripts?
I think
if you have actors in your agency who are also producers and they are aware of or going to be producing future films or projects, and they're interested in certain actors potentially in the agency, is there a proper way of going through that channel or already being in the agency?
I think it's really just going through your agent. Like, it's packaging, it's putting together a project, which a lot of us do. I have a client whose husband is a director, and he's like, I have a script, I optioned a book, and I want to use Paradigm clients. And I'm like, that's great, wonderful. Like, let's put it together and get it sold. So I think people actually do like that. It's easier.
It brings
to put
them
together.
more work. Yeah.
And also, and again, I'll just speak to Gersh, but you know, we do have packages. Like we're sort of agency agnostic in that sense, right? We're like we don't go up against like a WME or like where they're trying to just corner the market on sole packages or whatever. We have a media rights department. This guy Joe Veltre, he represents. There was an article called "My Family Slave," which is about a Filipino American dude who realized that the lady he's been calling grandmother all along is actually like an illegal immigrant that his mother brought over to the U.S. from the Philippines by force. That was the world's most popular article as of a couple years ago. It's sold to Annapurna. Rest in peace, and Plan B, more importantly. But like that, you know, that is agency agnostic, right? Like Plan B, Brad Pitt, CAA. I don't even know where Annapurna was represented at the time. But, you know, another example is like Jessica Pressler, who wrote Hustlers, the article, which ended up, you know, starring Jennifer Lopez and Constance Wu. Another example of being agency agnostic. Again, it's like, we just do whatever's best for our clients in that sense. But of course, we would love to marry our clients. Any agency or company would. It's how do you do that in the best way to service the overall
project.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, we'll take an internal package anyway.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
There was a question. Yeah.
This may be a weird question, but what tools or software you guys use to, to keep? You got a live clients that you're dealing with. How do you? What tools or software do you use to do that?
But
Like Microsoft, like Outlook, or how do you organize yourself?
Like
Work,
client-wise, or like my day-to-day systems, what do I use?
Exactly.
At Paradigm, we use Outlook for emails. There's a database called Oasis, which I
use it too.
Okay, so it basically helps us track information and like put our projects into a system that says what studio it's at, what production company is working on, and then all of the producers, directors, writers, everything that you need to know about the project is in that system. It's a little archaic and old. It needs to be updated. But then also there is a system that Paradigm uses that I helped create on the talent side, which is we call it the intranet. So it's like a password protected website that everyone in our company is able to look at, and it shows what clients we have, and then Google information you can find on Google, but like it's all in one place of their age range, so you can like pitch them properly, and like pitch materials, bios. We're trying to get reels on there. But it's just like an easier way to access, who we represent, because we have a huge music roster as well. So if someone's like, "Hey, do you rep Sia?" I'm like, "Let me check on the internet." And I'm like, "Yeah, we do." So, yeah, those are the main systems.
Yeah, and in terms of pitching our clients, there are things that like Active Pitch is a way to put people's reels in a secure format, where like not anybody can just download it, and it showcases, there's like a blurb of their bio and then a headshot. You can put their press on there or whatever. But in terms of like tracking, we similarly like all the Outlook and all the Oasis, but tracking my own personal clients, it's a matter of just like really learning their work, going through their resumes, understanding, literally understanding the plays they did in the UK before I was even on the team, reading those plays and understanding those roles. Like, it's a lot of work, but how else can you fully know what your client's capable of unless you do that? It's lists. It's lists of your packaging clients. It's lists of your personal clients. It's lists all day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Hello. I was going to ask, with such like a saturated market, what are specific things that you're looking for in talent that you want to bring on? Are you strict on like SAG versus non-union? you more like looking for diversity, or what are kind of things that you specifically look for? Because you are like both of you are like high profile agencies. So what are things that you actively look for?
I don't actually look for anything specific. It's when I watch something, I'm like, I need to work for this person. It's just something that I don't even know how to explain it. You just connect with that person and their work. I don't really care what they look like, how old they are, where they're from. It's just about the work. That's
Truly echo that statement. I saw this Irish show called Dairy Girls, which is another Netflix product, and unbeknownst to me, is actually one of the biggest comedies in the UK. It's like the biggest Channel 4 release in 25 years or something like that, right? But it's about 4 broke Irish girls, thick accents. You have to put subtitles on, who don't know how dumb and broke they are, living in the times of the Troubles while their like town is getting bombed, right? And this girl, Jamie Lee O'Donnell, such a breakout. Her performance and her castmates are incredible too. But she really spoke to me. Called her UK agent right away. Met her the last time I was there, and now she is a client. But like it's whose performance spoke to you.
Yeah.
So again, do the work and the rest will come. And I know that sounds like so cliche, but like that's honestly the truth of the matter.
Great. One more, or how are we feeling?
Maybe one last one, I'm sorry. Just some do's and don'ts that you might suggest for actors when it comes to submitting their materials, taking a meeting, or just kind of going through a meeting. What is best to do, what not to do when you do have your first meeting with a potential agency?
I say just be yourself. I say don't be nervous and like think like, oh, I need this agent, I need this manager. It's all about vibing with the person, because like what Anna said, like you want to vibe with the person because you want someone to work for you. Like it's our job to go out and tell people about you. So like people can smell, especially when you're in an audition room, and like I get it, I used to audition, so like I understand it's like very nerve-wracking. But when you go in there and you are scared and tense, like people can feel your energy, and it's a huge turnoff. Like people get scared of it. It's like, oh, there's desperation. No, like people just want you to go in there and be cool and relaxed and calm and be like, I've got this. Whatever I'm doing this for me, and I'm doing this because it makes me happy, not because of anything else or anyone else. I'm not doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for myself. So when you're going to meetings, it's the same way. Like you have a lot of generals too as an actor. You go and you meet with executives, so you just want to be yourself. You don't have to try too hard, I guess.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. It's like, be educated with who you're meeting. I don't think you need to ask like 21 questions, but just have them get to know you. Say, hey, this is where I'm from. This is why I do this. Have your own personal story, because like you're unique, and we need to sell you as a unique person. I'm not like, well, this is a guy from Maine who acted, and that's all I got.
And he acts.
Yeah. Like you got to make yourself unique. So find those things that like people like about you, and like let your agent know that, or let your manager know that, or whoever you're meeting with.
Great. Perfect. Well, that was it. That was easy. Appreciate you both.
Yeah. Thank you